We're coming up on Palm Sunday, and Palm Sunday is a very full Sunday for us as Anglicans. There's a lot going on in our service on Palm Sunday typically. We usually begin the service with an acknowledgement of the triumphal entry, the actual palms, and palms being laid on the ground in front of Jesus as he enters into Jerusalem. But then the service goes on and moves into the Passion, and the reading of the Passion happens also on Palm Sunday. It gets us prepared for the fullness of what happens during Holy Week. And as a result, I think sometimes the reality of what's going on in Palm Sunday gets lost for us. So I want to take a few moments just to think about what we're noticing on Palm Sunday as Jesus, his triumphal entry comes into Jerusalem. I think it's significant and important in a lot of ways, and it's colored a little bit. There's the perspective of it is brought down a little bit because we know what's coming during Holy Week and the crucifixion on Good Friday. But triumphal entry is actually triumphal. It's really remarkable because Jesus' triumphal entry, it is a picture of a king, a conquering king coming back to his city. Jesus does it in this way that is incredibly reflective of his humility and the overall humility of even of his incarnation, as we read in Philippians chapter 2, that he took the form of a servant. And so he comes in on a donkey, but it is clearly the entry of a king. Palm Sunday is for us a reminder that Jesus is king. He is king of the city that he was entering. He was king of Jerusalem. And in the end, he is king of the world. He is king of all things. And so as he enters into Jerusalem, as we sit on Palm Sunday, and we may be in procession in our churches with palm branches, it is an acknowledgement of the lordship and the kingship of Jesus. Now, his kingship is manifested in the cross. His sacrifice for us is the heart of his kingship and how he manifests his royal authority in bringing victory over sin. But Palm Sunday is a reminder that Jesus is king. He is king of the world. And I'm particularly reminded of this as I read Luke's account. And what is happening is it says this is Luke chapter 19 verse 37 and following. He says, as he was drawing near, this is Jesus, already on the way down the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of his disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had seen, saying, blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. This is Jesus coming to his city as the King. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And then it says this, and some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to him, Teacher, rebuke your disciples. Get them in line. Get your adoring masses in line. And what Jesus says after that is just an incredible, remarkable thing. He says this, I tell you, if these were silent, the very stones would cry out. Jesus articulates in this moment where people are resisting him as king. It says, resist all you like. Even if these people are the actual creation itself, the rocks and the stones would cry out to acknowledge that he is king. Whatever else we are doing on Palm Sunday, we are actually stopping for a moment, particularly as we walk into the darkness of Holy Week. Jesus entered Jerusalem as king, not as a victim, but as king, and walked through the cross to the glory of Easter. On Palm Sunday, we remember Jesus is the King of the universe, the King of you and me, and the King in the end of the very stones who in our silence would cry out.